Hi angels, welcome to Earth Angel Energy. I'm the Earth Angel and today I'm bringing you another pick a card reading, and today's topic is what do people think when they see you? And I have 3 piles for you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead and take a second, see which pile resonates with you, and please do leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed today's video. It really does help me out. Hi, pile 1. So if you chose the first pile, then this is your reading on when people see you, what do they think? So I did have to clarify the 5 of Pentacles because I was like, what is that with that being next to the 9 of Pentacles? And when I did that during the pre-shuffle, I was like, okay, I feel like the 5 of Pentacles is more of an emotion that's coming up in people and not really having anything to do with like money, finances, or health. So what do people think? I mean, first and foremost, with the 9 of Pentacles, people think that you look very well put together. You look like successful, you look stable. There's something about you where people are like, okay, this person takes good care of themselves. But with the 9 of Pentacles as well, there is that feeling of you seem quite capable as well. So people feel like if they assume that you have good finances or something, it's mostly because you created that for yourself. So once again, there's a level of kind of like elegance and professionalism. You definitely look like there is talent and hard work behind the level of stability that you have. Now with the 5 of Pentacles though, I feel like people kind of think about, so when I got my clarifiers for the 5 of Pentacles, we had like the 5 of Cups. There was also some things that were coming through for some masculine energies as well. So this could definitely be more masculine energies who kind of feel, I'll be honest, like a little bit maybe of like inadequacy, or almost like this feeling of like, I wish I had someone in my life like that, or I wish I could be like be like you. Interesting. So some people kind of think like they wish they could be like you for whatever reason. I'm seeing a lot of different reasons, but I'm sure we've all experienced that where you see someone, you're like, oh, you know, I wish I was that confident, or I wish I was that fit, or I wish I was that successful. You get a lot of that when people look at you. Now with the Hermit and the 2 of Pentacles, I see that people might assume that you might be a little bit more of someone who kind of keeps to yourself, maybe more of a private person. People might see you out with like one person or by yourself a lot, but there's also kind of this assumption of like, you seem kind of busy as well too. Like if you don't have a bunch of people around you, it's by choice. People could also think that you're a lot younger than you are, especially if there's something that actually specifies that you're older than you are. People could be pretty surprised by that. Now with the Judgment as well too, I'm curious. We're going to get some clarifiers for the Judgment before I speak too soon on this. But yeah, 7 of Pentacles. Okay, the 3 of Swords and the Sun. People could kind of worry that you're judging them. And I don't feel like they really think that you are based on your behavior, but it's kind of like when you see someone who looks like really stable or really attractive. It's like you can't help it, even if they're super nice. There's kind of that feeling of like, yeah, the Tower of like, does this person like think like that I'm not cool or something? I don't know, the King of Wands here. Especially if there's like some masculines as well. They could be worried that you don't have like a favorable opinion of them, or you don't have a favorable view of them. Empress here, yeah. You are seen as pretty up there. Like people kind of hold you in high regard. There is like a relatability here with the 6 of Pentacles, or the 6 of Cups. Interesting, I accidentally said the 6 of Pentacles. So yeah, you have a very balanced energy. Like you seem very fair. Like people don't necessarily think that you see yourself as better than anyone, but people kind of sometimes see you as better than. The 10 of Pentacles, yeah. There's something you're having to do with like financial stability here. And again with the 2 of Pentacles, like I don't even think you really project this image of being like, you know, why did I just I don't say this word. I don't know who says this, and I hope you're familiar with this term, but it's coming through really strongly. Like hoity-toity, like just like very like someone who's, you know, up there in society, I guess. You don't have that energy. Like you're not snobby is what I'm saying. Like you're not snobby. You don't come off that way. But there is a sense of people like thinking that you just got it good. Like you do appear that way to people. Like they assume that. What else is here? What do people think when they see you? People could also think, interesting. So people could think that you are either married or like you have a good family unit that's quite successful, but that you also have your own success in your own right. Ace of Pentacles, you look very blessed. Like, people just think that you look very blessed, very well taken care of, very well taken care of. What else do we have here? Yeah, Six of Wands. People assume like you're just like a winner. I don't know, like you seem like the kind of person where like things just like win for you. Especially if there's like a situation where, I don't know, like you kind of seem lucky too. Like people could like either see good things happen for you or, yeah, the Fool. The way that you like carry yourself. People could also be pretty nice to you or pretty helpful to you. People think about this as well. Yeah, Emperor to the Empress. If you're in a relationship, oh my gosh, people think you and your person are like, got it good. But there is a sense of like, and that's what's coming through with this Five of Pentacles and the Hermit. There is a sense of sadness here. I think it depends on who's looking at you. I think for people who live pretty good lives, there's kind of this sense of like, cool, like they're living a good life too, like good for them. But for people who don't feel very good about themselves, I feel like the way that they see you is like a little bit more extreme. You know what I mean? So if you're more of like a Nine of Pentacles where you're working, you know, things are pretty good for you, you know, your bills are paid, everything is, you know, happening in a good order. I feel like that's how more balanced people see you and what they think. But for people in a more extreme energy, it's like, oh my gosh, I bet they have everything taken care of. I bet they want for nothing. You know what I mean? Nine of Swords, yeah, people with anxiety especially. Like, they think that, like, you kind of have, like, a perfect life here. Yeah. I just heard, especially if you're nice. Like, if you're nice, if you're emotionally balanced. Oh, I'm almost getting this energy of, like, of course, like, they're happy. Of course they're nice. Like, they probably don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, it's so crazy. I was just shuffling the deck. I've actually never seen a card do that. It was kind of weird. But I was just shuffling the deck here. And the Three of Swords, like, came mostly out of the deck, caught a card, and flipped into the reverse. I wish you could have seen that. But it's like, some people kind of think, like, you have, like, no problems. You don't seem like the kind of person who has problems. Yeah. Again, these cards are flipping in such an interesting way. King of Swords here. Especially if there's someone who's in a more, like, harsh, like, masculine energy. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. For some of you, people of the opposite gender look at you as someone who, like, probably has no problems. Especially if you're, like, a feminine or a woman. There's definitely men who are like, oh, I bet, you know, they've got all these people who want to be with them. I bet their life is so easy. And I don't think that's the case. I feel like this is definitely people who don't know you. They're just judging based on appearances. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. What is the Seven of Swords about? Ten of Wands. Nah, there's definitely a little bit of projection, especially for people who feel like they got a really bad hand in life. Like, they got dealt a really bad hand. When they see you, they feel like you just have it a lot better than them. Yeah, Five of Swords, Five of Wands, and the Justice. It's interesting, though. I do feel like you're definitely spiritually protected from, like, really envious energy. But there's definitely some people who kind of feel like you look like someone in society who is just doing very well, you know? And, like, that, like, kind of like a winner energy. Like, there are some people who are seeing you who have this belief that, like, in society there's winners and there's losers. And people feel like you're very much, like, a winner. The Moon, the Five of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. People also wonder, like, what you do for work. Like, people can tell that you work, but, like, so people can tell that you work, but they know that it's not, like, you know, back-breaking labor. For some of you it is, but it doesn't look like that. Like, people could feel like you have a very cushy job. What else do people think? Yeah. People could also think you have a really nice house, that maybe you travel a lot. There's just, like, a lot of assumptions, and I think for a lot of you, you do work hard. I think, you know, you have been blessed in a lot of ways, but you really try to put in the work to make sure that your blessings multiply, you know? And for a lot of you, especially if you have a good relationship with God, I feel like he's helping you really move forward in a really prosperous way here. Yeah, the Chariot, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Cups. But once again, there is this grounding energy of you being like nice though, like being nice, not being judgmental. So like, I'm also getting to that some people could see you and think something, and then if they get to interact with you or they see you interacting with someone else, then they're like, oh, okay, wait, no, this person's actually really nice. So once again, yeah. Oh, and it's beautiful. And I also think that happens a lot too. It just kind of seems like God orchestrates that situation for you a lot, where if he's picking up on like a really like jealous energy, he'll kind of put things in place so people can really see your heart. And one thing that I'm really liking here too is like people will see you and maybe make some assumptions, but as soon as they actually feel your energy or interact with you, it's like that's immediately washed away. I feel like some people even feel bad for maybe judging or thinking that you might be judgmental or kind of like see yourself as better than. I know that I'm sure that's happened to all of us, where we see someone and we assume they're not going to be a nice person, and then they turn out to be super nice. I feel like that energy washes away so quickly. And then it just becomes a really pure energy of like people thinking that you look like you're doing well, but you also look like the type of person who deserves it, you know? Someone who's kind, someone who's loving, someone who has a good support system because they're a good person. I think some of this maybe is the like superficial things that people are thinking, but as soon as they actually get to interact with you or see you interact with other people, people think wonderful things about you, like very positive thoughts actually. And there could even be some people who interact with you and maybe feel a little insecure based on, you know, the outward abundant energy that you have, because you look like you're doing quite well. But people feel good when they see you, when they interact with you. There's this feeling of like, oh, this is a nice person, you know, and they're nice, they're kind, and they look good while doing it. That's what I have for you, Pile 1. Really, really nice energy. Okay, I like how that really rounded out into this beautiful, pristine energy. Keep up the good work. I think you're doing really well. And honestly, people's thoughts are really reflecting a lot of that goodness and that kindness that you're cultivating in your heart. That's what I have for you, Pile 1. Beautiful energy for you. Very blessed energy. That's what I have. I hope that resonated for you. I hope it was helpful. You can feel free to check out one of the other piles if you would like. You can watch one of my other videos. And of course, you can always book a personal reading with me if you would like me to read the energy in your situation. But thank you so much. And until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 2. So if you chose a second pile, then this is your reading on what do people think when they see you. I feel like immediately there's like some mystery here. Like people wonder about you. I mean, I'll be honest, with the Ten of Pentacles, people could think that either you're married, people could think like you give off a very like wifeable or like husbandy energy depending on your gender. Like you look very marriage material. I'll be honest, people think you're very attractive here, like with that Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands. People could really also think about like your style, your hair. I'm just seeing a lot of people thinking like a lot of compliments, like wow, they're like good looking, or wow, I love their outfit, stuff like that. Knight of Pentacles, I do see a little bit of kind of like a feeling of kind of wanting to approach you, but very much feeling like it would take them forever to actually work up the courage. Three of Wands. When people see you, there's also kind of this feeling of hoping that like they'll get to see you for a while. Like for some of you, say if someone sees you like out and about, like on public transportation or like in a grocery store, there's this feeling of like, oh, I hope I see them again, or I hope they don't get off at this stop. Like I hope they linger around for a little bit. I hope I get to be around this person for a little bit longer. If you walk into like stores as well too, there's like the feeling of, ooh, I hope they kind of hang out in here a little bit. There's definitely some assumptions about your abundance as well too. I'll be honest, the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, people do kind of think that, now, nobody knows what your financial status is, but there is this assumption that like you could buy whatever you want. Like you have that look. But at the same time with the Knight of Pentacles, I don't think that you like, I think you're also kind of discerning with how you spend your money as well too. But like, say for instance, if you go into a store, and I highly recommend this, you know, you shouldn't be buying something in every store you walk into. But for a lot of you, if you are very careful about what you buy, if you like walk into a store and then don't buy anything, nobody is assuming that you can't afford anything. They're just like, oh, they just didn't find anything that they liked. But there is this assumption of like, oh yeah, like they could definitely spend some money in here if they wanted to, but they just chose not to. With the Queen of Wands and the Moon Queen, you have like a mysterious energy. And with the Moon Queen, people could wonder like what your background is. Like, I don't know, like nationality, race, religion, even for some of you. Like, you have a unique look or unique style, just unique appearance where people are like, I wonder what they are. Or maybe like, I heard, what are they mixed with as well too? Some of you could have that look. What else do we have here? Some people could even wonder like what your hobbies are, especially for some of you if you have like either unique style, or for some of you you look quite fit, where people kind of wonder like what do they do to stay fit, or like do they play sports. Let's get some more, because I even feel like there's some mystery here. It's all very, very good energy, so I feel like people think really good things about you. The Sun, you look really nice, really happy. Like, people actually think very happy thoughts when they see you. Like, people like having you around. People really like having you around wherever you go. Like, there's this initial feeling of like, ooh, like I'm glad they're here. Like, ooh, I like looking at this person with the Sun. What else do we have here? What do people think when they see my pile two? The Judgment. We got the Judgment for pile one as well too, where people could kind of, ooh, especially with the Moon Queen. So I think that you have kind of like an imperceptible gaze, like your facial expressions. It's hard for people to kind of tell how you're really feeling or what you're really thinking. So I do feel like people kind of wonder. Okay, but this is slightly different from pile one, where like in pile one, and feel free to check out any of the piles if you're curious. But with pile one, there was more of like fear of other people being like, ooh, are they judging me? But I actually feel like people, they think to themselves like, you know, what does pile two think? Like, do they like it here? Do they like me? Especially too, like if you walk into like someone's like house or someone's business or something, like people actually do wonder like what does this person think of this? Yeah, Seven of Wands. You actually get a lot of attention. Like you do stand out here quite a bit with the Queen of Wands. Like, you actually do have quite a few people thinking about you, even if it's just in passing, you know, and someone doesn't have to be, like, obsessed with you. But say, for instance, if you're walking through the grocery store, you just walk by someone and they're like, oh, like, they're pretty, or like, oh, they're handsome, or whatever. Like, that's someone thinking about you. Let's see. For some of you, I heard your height or some, like, physical attribute that really stands out. For some of you, I'm going to be honest, I'm hearing, like, a body part, but, like, good thoughts. So some of you have, like, a really nice chest or really nice, like, backside. People do think about that, but, like, in a very positive way here. Okay, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm curious about this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, some people could think you don't work. Like, some people could think that you don't get your money, like, from working. I'm going to be honest. Like, stay-at-home wife. Some of you, like, if you're a man, some people think that you might, have like an inheritance or something. Like, you kind of have that vibe. You do. And I think it's, once again, it's not bad, because I don't see people like being judgmental about it. But people could think that you just grew up with money. Like, you don't have to really work. I heard especially if people see you out and about during like work hours. So like if you're at the grocery store like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then people could be thinking, or like for some of you, if you've traveled somewhere in the middle of the week, like on a weekday, I don't think a lot of people assume like, oh, this is their day off from work. I think a lot of people think either like you don't have to work like a normal job. And for some of you, you do, but for some reason you just don't look like that. Okay, we have the Tower and the King of Wands here. For some of you, I'm going to be honest, people could think that you have a very well-off partner. Some people are incredibly attracted to you, I'm going to be honest, to the point where it kind of like derails their thought processes for a second. Yeah, the Hierophant. People could definitely think you're married, or like they would marry you. Like, you have that look of like, ooh, like I would like my husband or my wife to look like that. Like, people do think that. Five of Wands to the Six of Cups. This is so weird. I don't know. I don't think this is for everybody. Let's get one more clarifier for the Five of Wands, because I was like, is this what I think it is? Five of Wands to the Six of Cups, please. Four of Cups to the... Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just going to say it, and this could not be true. And I don't think people are assuming this, like, in a really negative way. But if you are, like, of childbearing age, or if you're an adult and you don't have kids, people could think when they see you, like, do they not like kids or something? No. The Eight of Wands, like, Page of Cups, the Strength, and the King of Swords. I feel like this could be like, oh my gosh. Okay, this is not everybody. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't have kids, or feel like you're out and about and like you don't have like a child with you, there could be... Whoa, hold on. Two of Cups. That's why. Okay. It's not having anything to do with you. This is very wild. I'm just gonna tell you what I see. I'm kind of taken aback by this. But, okay. I'm just gonna say this straight up. If you're like a woman, and actually men too, I'm getting both, you are quite attractive and you have this look of like looking like a lot of people's like ideal husband or wife. No matter what you look like, no matter what your race is, there's definitely people who are like, ooh, like, and I'm sure we've all, especially when you're younger, you see someone, you're like, ooh, like, that looks like the perfect person. You know, like, I hope my husband looks like that. Like, I think that has happened for a lot of people. Or I hope my wife looks like that. Like, that person definitely is like, would be perfect. People think this about you. And if you don't have kids, I see that. Or if people don't see you out and about with kids, there's this feeling of like, why don't they have kids with them? Basically what I'm trying to say is, this is what's coming through. There are people who look at you and they're like, I would have kids with them. So like, what's going on here? Like, why? Like, this person, they should have some. Like, I hope this is making sense. Like, basically people, when they see you, they feel like you should have children. Like, I don't know, because of the way you look. Like, there's something where, this is gonna sound, I know this sounds kind of weird, but this is what's coming through, and I don't know where you live, but there's this feeling of like, that person should be reproducing. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's really wild, the chariot. Like, and for some of you do have kids, but especially if you don't, or if people see you out and about without children, it's like, you should be having kids. Like, there's, okay, like, that's what I'm getting here. I think there's some people around you who kind of feel like, you know, attractive people, or, you know, people with really nice attributes. And once again, I'm seeing people of all races and backgrounds, but there's this feeling of like, you should be making more people like you. And once again, I think it's just because you have a really nice, healthy, attractive look to you. And I don't think it has anything to do with like any prejudice or anything. It's just like, people find you very attractive. Like, you could seem like you have nice genes, you could seem fit, and there's this feeling of like, you need to be making more kids. I don't know how to explain it. The devil. There's definitely like a strong feeling around that. I don't really know why. Ace of Wands, I think it's because people find you extremely attractive. I don't know why I just heard like first, like, some masculine energies. I'm hearing like Henry Cavill or something. I think he just recently announced he's having a kid, and I'm sure there's people who are like, oh yeah, like, he's got good genes, like, I hope he makes kids. Like, that's what I'm getting really strongly. Like, there is this feeling, I think, from a lot of people around you of like, really liking that you exist, essentially. Three of Cups, Knight of Wands. And there's definitely people who are attracted to you who are like, I would definitely have kids with this person. It's coming through extremely strongly, so I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. But that is like a big thought that's coming through. Anything else? Oh my gosh, like, I would have their kids, or like something like that. Anything else? Anything else? And don't let it worry you. And especially too, like, if you're someone who does not want to have kids, don't worry about that at all. You know, it seems to be mostly people you don't even know. But you're perfectly fine. You know, you do with your life what you want. But, you know, we are just saying, you know, what people are thinking, and it's coming through really strongly. And, you know, just take it as a compliment. You're like, yeah, you know, I'm glad that you think that I'm very attractive. You know, I'm glad that you think that I look good and I seem like a good person. But don't think that you need to carry the weight of, you know, having a child on your shoulders if that's not something you're interested in. That's totally up to choice. Okay, anything else? What do people think when they see you? What do people think when they see you? 8 of Pentacles. Magician. We have the Justice. Let's see. Let's get like one more. Let's split the deck. 8 of Wands. Okay. There is this feeling of like people kind of wanting to talk to you, but like totally not having the courage to do so. But ultimately, I feel like people have a very good view of you. There's kind of this feeling of, I feel like a sense of pride almost, especially like whatever country or city, town you live in, people feel kind of like pride with you being there. I hope this makes sense. There's this feeling of, like, you seem like a very good representation. You seem like a good indicator of like the health of your community or your society, like someone attractive, someone upstanding, and you actually do motivate a lot of people. And I'm sure we've all seen people like this where, you know, people feel a sense of pride when they look at you. I'll be honest, like there's this feeling of like, okay, like we're doing good as a community, as a society, because pile 2 is here. You do get people kind of excited. This is a song that comes through pretty frequently for some of my readings, but if you're familiar with the movie Mulan, the song A Girl Worth Fighting For, it's really giving me that energy of just people being like, you know, I feel like our society, our community is gonna be all right because, you know, I mean, look at them. There's this sense of pride that people feel. It's true, and people feel motivated by you. It kind of calms them down a little bit. I think for some of you also, you dress nicely, you carry yourself really well, you have really good manners. You do actually restore faith in society. Like, it's true, but I think you carry yourself really, really well. And I think it's a very beautiful, very respectable energy that you carry. You're very respectable, the way you treat people, the way that you look, the way that you act. There is this sense of you having a wider representation to people of things moving forward in a positive direction. And this could be people who know you pretty well. This could be total strangers. I feel like especially for people who know you, especially people who work with you, there's this feeling of like, everything is okay. Like, look at them. You know, they're smart, they're respectable, they have good manners, they're kind to others, they dress well, you know, things are okay. Like, look at them. Especially if you're younger, I'm getting for a lot of you, you actually really restore a lot of people's faith in a lot of things when they see you. It's true. That's what I have for you. Actually, very beautiful energy. I feel like you're contributing a lot just by being you. So keep being your beautiful self, pile 2. This is amazing energy. Really gorgeous energy. I absolutely love this. Keep up the good work. I think you're doing way more good than you even know just by being your authentic self, you know, and being a good example for people. It's beautiful. And I think it's very reassuring and comforting for a lot of people around you. That's what I have for you, pile 2. Beautiful energy. I hope this resonated. I hope this was helpful for you. You can feel free to check out one of the other piles if you're curious. You can watch one of my other videos. And of course, you can always book a personal meeting with me if you would like me to read your energy. Thank you so much, pile 2. And until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 3. So if you chose a third pile, then this is your reading on what do people think when they see you. Okay, so I see a lot of thoughts here. We got the Judgment in all 3 piles, but I feel like they all kind of came through differently. So the Knight of Pentacles. You do come off as very attractive. Like, people do find you very attractive here. Definitely getting like a strong masculine energy. You have like the way that you stand, number one, like you have a very confident energy, a confident stance here. You seem kind of serious, but you look pretty young as well too. Like, you look a lot younger than how you act, or for some of you, how you dress. With the Knight of Pentacles. For some of you, like, you don't move very quickly, but like it's kind of that energy of like someone who like doesn't feel like they need to rush. Like, you don't rush ever. You look very like cool, calm, and collective. I'll get there when I get there. People could also see you like talk. There's something about the way that you speak when people see you. If people see you speak or communicate, there's something where you, okay, I'll be honest. Sometimes if you talk to people, you could use words that people don't really understand sometimes. Like, your vocabulary. There's something with this Emperor where you come off as very elevated compared to other people. It's like people are excited to see you based on your appearance. There's your initial look, you look younger than you are. You have this kind of like a little bit fiery, a little bit fun, but you actually come off as way more serious than people anticipate, and it kind of throws people off a little bit. Like with that Knight of Pentacles, I feel like people get a little bit disarmed by you, especially if they see you and then they talk to you or you interact with them. I think the initial look is like, ooh, like this person seems kind of cool and fun, maybe a little bit younger. And then the more they talk to you, they're like, oh, this person is like a serious individual. Like, you come off a little serious here. Six of Pentacles. There's something about, yeah, once again, like you have a big Emperor energy. Like you could come off more educated than people realize, or like, oh, people don't expect you to be either as educated or as mature as you are, especially about like money or business or something like that. So especially if you deal with any sort of like business situation, any sort of professional situation, people are always kind of surprised by how like professional you are or how experienced you are. I think people assume you're significantly younger than you are. Yeah, Devil in reverse. You seem very disciplined. Like people think that you, yeah, Ace of Pentacles though, with the Seven of Cups. People could kind of assume that you, okay, Ten of Pentacles. All my three piles, people are assuming that people are doing pretty well, you know, pretty comfortably here. But I think that some people might think that some of your stability initially like didn't quite come from like your own work. So maybe like an inheritance, a wealthy family, a wealthy partner. Not even like fully wealthy, but just like financially stable. Where like, I'll give you an example. Say for instance, you get into like a car accident. And you have to like deal with people's insurance and stuff. People could look at you and think like, oh my gosh, they're gonna have to like call their parents or something like that. And then you're like, no, here's my insurance. Can I get your information? Can I take a picture of the damage? Like people are very like taken aback. The Hermit. People are intimidated by you. Six of Swords. But people kind of like it. I don't know. Ooh, I was just reminded. So this is a timeless reading, but I just watched the most recent episode of House of the Dragon on HBO, and there's a character where he's like the head of a noble house, and his father just passes away, and he's like 15 or 16, and he has to, you know, become the liege lord. He has to kind of take over and be the head of his household, and he's like 15 or something, and everyone kind of looks at him like, oh, you know, he's just like a young boy. But then he comes out very serious, and you can tell like, oh wait, no, this person is actually mature and very capable. Once again with the Page of Wands, I'm not gonna lie, however old you are, people think you're significantly younger than you are, and they're always a little bit taken aback at first, like, oh wait, this person is educated, this person is like serious, they're mature. But then people really like it. Like there's a fondness that people have for you because of this. King of Wands, you're like serious. You have a really interesting like dual energy. Like you're not too serious though. Like you're not harsh, you know? Like you can still be fun. Like you can still kind of laugh and joke around. But like you do have this energy of like, but I get things done, you know? And I have fun while doing it. Five of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Aww. People do like develop feelings for you though. With the Ace of Swords. People think you're immediately very trustworthy though. Like people immediately trust you. Like people immediately assume you're telling the truth. Five of Wands in the world. Yeah. Very strong energy for you, Pile 3. I'm gonna be honest, people do find you pretty sexy. They do. They do. People like get an immediate like kind of like shock of feeling when they see you. Like people like they react, you know what I mean? They're like, ooh, like Yeah, with the Ace of Wands and the Sun. Especially if they get to talk to you with the Ace of Swords. 5 of Wands in the World. There's something very, like, balanced about your energy that really is like, ooh, like, I don't know. It's because you have a lot of duality and, like, dichotomies in your energy. Like, you have this kind of, like, youthful, almost, like, fun, immediate energy. But then, like, you're serious where people are like, ooh, like, people like it. Like, they find it really interesting. You're really unique. Like, you're not like anybody that most people have ever met. People find you both predictable and unpredictable. Like, predictable in your actions, where they know you're, like, you seem very responsible, very forthright, very capable. But people never quite know if they're going to get this kind of fun, full energy from you, or that more, like, serious energy. But it, like, keeps people on their toes. It's exciting. 10 of Cups. People could think you're either, like, married in a commitment, especially with that 10 of Pentacles as well. People do assume you're not single. And if you are single and people know it, people assume that, or they think you would make a really good partner. Once again, and I'll say this, you know, I don't ever really get crazily different energies from my collective, because most of my collective is moving forward really decisively in life and elevating a lot. And if you're elevating in life, you're going to come off as someone who's marriage material. You're going to come off as somebody who people have confidence in. You're going to come off as somebody that is worthy of respect and admiration. And I see that coming through for everybody. But I think, like, people's styles are different, people's backgrounds are different, and so it's slightly different because of that. But in terms of the general energy that you have, I mean, everybody's coming through as, like, marriage material. Everyone's coming through as someone very respectable, someone that would make a really good partner. So people think that as well too. Like, you would be a really nice partner. 8 of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, ooh, the 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords. Yeah, the 4 of Cups. People also think, like, if there's anybody who sees you who's, like, not marriage material, so if there's somebody who likes situationships, somebody who's, like, not serious, somebody who's not looking for, like, a serious relationship, or just kind of like an F-boy or an F-girl, they 100% think, like, oh no, this person would not tolerate me, this person would not deal with me. Like, people who are in that kind of energy where they're not interested in committing to people, they wouldn't even try it with you. Like, they just would not even try it at this point. Or if they did try it, like, they know that it would be short-lived. Like, you're not going to do a whole cycle with them. 10 of Wands. I'm going to be honest, like, your energy is very influential, pile 3. So I think when people come in contact with your energy, it does kind of alchemize theirs. Because you have very dominant energy. We have all these aces, all these major arcana. So you do shift the energy of the people around you. And there is this feeling of... Okay, this kind of reminds me a little bit of pile 2, so if this really resonates with you, you can check out pile 2 as well. But the way that you carry yourself does kind of make people look inward. So especially if people identify with you in some way, so say for instance if you're like a woman, but you carry yourself really well, you're very respectable, you have good manners, other women do look at you, and I'm gonna be honest, they kind of think like, maybe I should, like, people kind of want to change because of you. Another good example is, like, say if you're, like, a masculine, but you take, like, really good care of yourself, or, like, you're working out, and I'm sure we have these moments where we look at other people as well. People do kind of feel like, I want to be more like them. They do, you know? Especially if there's, like, a really close, I'm going to be honest, I'm hearing for some of you, like, people of your same ethnicity or background or even religion. I'm hearing strongly for religion. For some of you, if you're a Christian, but you're, like, really nice and kind, and, like, really just warm and welcoming to everyone, there's people who see you and do think, like, I should be more like them. It's true. It's beautiful energy. Like, you are actually shifting things. Star, like, you push people into transformation and healing. Wow. Without even trying. And especially if that's something that you want, like, you want to be a good influence in the world, you want to make things better, you have no idea. I think for a lot of you, you're seeing it actually. I know I am. Where you just start to see, not even just in your community, but in the wider world, things like shift towards your goals of seeing a better world. I think at the end of the day, you know, if you're really connected with God, if you're really coming forward with a pure, open heart, your hopes for the future, your hopes for the world changing will be in alignment with Him. And I think you're also kind of starting to see that as well, where God is validating your hopes and your wishes because they're pure, you know? I think a lot of people who have a relationship with God can be very like, I mean, especially as an American, I don't talk too much about it, but you see it all the time, you know, people who are followers of the Lord, but very unkind individuals, people who don't follow Jesus's word or his path at all. And I feel like you're different. You know, you want people to heal. You want people to feel the love and the hope and the healing and the joy of the Lord, not the judgment or the cruelty or the attacks or the meanness. There's a sense of you still having a little bit of that discipline and that forward thinking, like, I'm going to make things happen. You know, I'll be serious when I need to. But there's like no meanness to you. You're very fair, you're very just, and people see that. People think that. Like, it's beautiful. I know we got a little bit more into like an energy reading, but it's not even just what people are thinking. I feel like people's thoughts about you are also getting them into that thought process of transforming themselves as well too. Okay, let's get some final cards here. And definitely the way that you behave, like, you're actually like helping shift things, like, truly. Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. But when people see you, they seem to think that there's more to you than meets the eye. There's more beneath the surface. Either you have more accomplishments that are not super apparent when they meet you, more abundance. There's a sense of you having a level of discretion with how you portray yourself. So someone who has quite a lot is doing quite well for themselves, but isn't too much of a show off about it, honestly. And there's a sense of people assuming, based on the way that you carry yourself, the way that you maybe conduct business, the way that you communicate, that you're a very accomplished individual with quite a lot going for yourself. So if there's one phrase that I could use to kind of summarize the energy in terms of what people think when they see you, it's a respectable person with integrity. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy, and you have more influence than I think you realize. So keep up the good work, keeping your authentic self, because I feel like you are really helping shape the world in a much better way. That's what I have for you. So I do hope this resonated for you, pile 3. Beautiful energy for you, very powerful. You can feel free to check out one of the other piles if you would like. And of course, you can always book a personal reading with me if you would like me to read your energy. But thank you so much, pile 3. And until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you.